welcome to another episode of Exploring the Arts with me, Kalinmonet Brown. I also go by Kalinmonet as my artist name. In the last episode, we talked about photographing artwork, and this is just a part 2 of the continuation of it. The reason being is because in the last episode, we talked about photographing just a basic piece of artwork. So I used one of my acrylic paintings on a paper, and I use that as an example on how to photograph artwork that's basic, whether it's acrylic paint, whether it's watercolor, whatever the case may be. My artwork is a fairly good example because it's very dark, and dark colors bounce off a lot of light, so it can be a little bit tricky, and it's just a way of showing you how to handle those issues. In this episode here, we're going to be diving a little bit deeper into that, and I'm going to show you all how to photograph a resin piece of artwork and also a framed collage, because those two things are super reflective. And I'll show you all how I tackle those challenges, because we all need photos for social media, for our websites, and also when we want to send stuff to people through email or whatnot. So this is definitely going to help you out with tackling those issues that you might have. And then also in the following episode, we're going to be having a part 3 of this. It's very long. I'm going to show you all how to Photoshop these images so that you can make sure that you keep the colors correct, and also so that you can tackle those weird angled photos that you're going to see popping up in this episode and also from the last one. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to photograph is this one right here. This has a plastic frame, but glass also has a reflection to it as well. So when you're photographing stuff that's already framed, pre-framed, I personally like to sit them upward, because then you can have the light bounce from the foam board at the bottom and brighten it up here. And then all you would need to do is just adjust the exposure on your camera so that it takes in a little bit more light. The part about it being reflective, like you can see right now from this angle with the camera, you see my reflection when I move. So with that being said, I will either position this where it is picking up the white of the foam board, or either I'll just grab another piece of foam board to extend it outward, so that instead what is happening is reflecting the white, and I make sure I get the artwork from a higher up angle. And that is where Photoshop is your best friend because you can actually adjust the individual corners of your artwork in Photoshop. In order for me not to be reflected into the picture, I'm using this white board to act as my reflection, and I'm shooting right directly over top of the board. I will show you guys the photo so that you know what I'm talking about. A key pointer here is to always take multiple shots, because you never know. And then, again, with something like this, I might come in and now we're going to move on to the most difficult piece of artwork to photograph, because it's just so glossy and so shiny, but we're going to make it work. I'm going to prop it up so that I don't get any reflections from the light. And just to show you all what that will look like, let's see. There we go. See, if I were to sit it down on the floor and then photograph it directly above like I did for the acrylic painting, I would get this light that you see right here. For me, it's in a different spot, but you would get this random blob of white from the reflection, and we don't want that, of course, because that's not a part of the artwork. So I just go ahead and set it up, and then the light from the light will bounce onto the board, and then it will bounce up onto the painting to give it that light that you need. Another thing too is make sure that you're either photographing in an area with daylight, or if you're photographing in an area where you're not getting any yellow light or an additional light coming in, because it will look different. You know, when you have multiple light sources, you see them. You pretty much see them. But with natural light, since it's ambient, it's all around, you won't get a second reflection or a third reflection in this case, because I have two lights, so those are two light sources, which could potentially create two shadows or whatnot. But yeah, let's get into photographing this one right here. Luckily, I'm not getting that much of a reflection from it. But just in case, I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the other one. And I'm gonna tilt this other whiteboard up so that I make sure that I do not get a reflection of myself in this as well. Alright, yeah, see, with the board, I'm noticing that there's a difference in lighting, which just means that when I go into Photoshop and see this, then that means that I might see myself, but just in case. And this is why we take multiple pictures. I'm just gonna do a few up close. So that is it for photographing our work. Hopefully all this information has helped you out in moving forward and getting those photos that you need, because, you know, technology or not having the latest technology should not be the thing that holds you back from getting some beautiful photos of your works of art. And also, it's a necessity if you are going to be creating a website or posting to social media, or even just sending this stuff out to people. You want to have nice quality photos to show what your work looks like and what it accurately looks like. And hopefully these tips and tricks will help you out with just basic artwork like acrylic paintings, watercolor, oil pastels, and things of that sort, works on paper or even on canvas. And it'll help you out with framed work as well, like in this episode, and also with very reflective artwork like resin, which is a medium that I use quite often nowadays, because we all come across those glares, which can be a huge distraction from when you're trying to sell a piece of artwork, or even if you're just trying to make prints of something. And hopefully these tips will help you all out with that. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe, leave a comment, so that I can continue to keep making videos like this and more in order to help you all out in navigating the art world, because I honestly wish I had this advice. Even sitting around looking around on YouTube all day long, I didn't come across any of these kinds of videos. So hopefully this just gives you a different perspective and helps you out along your journey. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching.